There we go. Now the mic's on. Hey everybody, I'm Jesse, and welcome to another edition of Gen X Thinks Live, our Saturday live stream edition. Just free for all, where everybody joins the conversation through the chat here, and I'll be talking with y'all and answering questions and all that. But as I wait for people to join in, I'll kick this off by talking about the government shutdown here in the United States. For those of you overseas, our Democrat versus Republican, those that one party that the deep state, whatever, the government parties that they tell us are separate from each other, and that all they do is rob us and lie to us. They're all the same, but they tell us they're different. But anyway, they pretend to argue up there, and then they shut the government down once in a while, and they actually act like it's a big deal. These people up there, they pretend as if it's a big deal and we should be worried about a government shutdown. It's been shut down for 4 or 5 days now, and not a damn thing has changed. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They're still going up there to Capitol Hill, robbing us blind. They're still lying to us. I still got to go to work. You know, movies are still being made. People are still playing the guitar. Cars are still running. Horses are still eating grass. Everything's the same. Everything's the same. But we're told that these government shutdowns are perilous to our lives or something. I don't know. They make a big deal out of it. If it was my decision, I'd shut that sumbitch down for good. I just shut it down. I shut the door on that thieving, lying shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's not up to me. So, Metal Gear, what's up, Metal Gear? Glad to see you here. Jeff 7, April. Glad to see y'all here. Just another guy in the woods. What's up? Glad to see you here. Welcome to the party. Yeah, we're not worried about that shit anyway. I wasn't worried about it before they started shutting it down and shit, and I'm sure as hell not worried about it now after it's been shut down for a little while. They do that to us, and I'm not sure I understand even what the hell they're supposed to be scaring us with. I mean, hell, don't threaten me with a good time. Shut that shit down. Shut it down for a year. Let's see what happens, right? Let's just see if we can live without a federal government. I bet you we can survive. I got a hunch that we would survive. That me and Jeff 7 and Metal Gear and April will still be here, getting shit done. We don't need those politicians. Yeah, exactly, Jeff 7. Yeah, those politicians, Congress and Senate and shit, they still get paid, but the armed forces don't. And the park rangers, the federal park, their rangers, the parks get shut down and all that stuff. Yeah, that's bad. But it just goes to show you what's really going on. Those politicians, they're still getting their paycheck. They're still making their money. You know what I mean? That's going to happen regardless. They're going to get their cut. But screw the armed forces. Screw the people who are out there defending the country. Supposed to be anyway, depending on what the government sends them off to do. But yeah, it's just it's a joke. They've turned the whole thing into a big joke, right? And one thing about the armed forces, you get 3 square meals a day and a place to live and all that stuff. So it's not detrimental for them. Yeah, they won't, they might not get their paycheck, so they won't be able to make a car payment or whatever, or go out and party hard this weekend, but most likely is the scenario. But But that Congress and those senators and shit getting their paychecks regardless of whether the government is shut down or not, it just shows you that they believe, or they set themselves up to be above the rest of us, right? They're above the common man. And that, to me, that's sickening. That our government should be comprised of us, not of people who believe they're above us. That's despicable to have them, that, and just the fact that they can vote themselves raises. That's insanity. All right, and they've done this over time. George Washington and the founding fathers, they didn't give Congress and shit all this power when they set this stuff up in the beginning. It was supposed to be, you come in, you did a tour or so of public service, and then you went back to your farm or something, or whatever you were doing. You went back to your cobbler shop or your blacksmith shop, whatever. You didn't stay in there for life and vote yourself raises. You know what I mean? That's not how it was supposed to work. But that's what we see today. And if there was ever a mistake that they made when they set that shit up, was to make no term limits on those positions, Congress and Senate and all that shit. Those thieving bastards can just stay up there until they die, and a lot of them do. They just stay there till they die. And you just can't help but get corruption when you do that, because when you morph that into that slimy position, it's not a public service position anymore. It's a position of power. So then you've got a certain type of person who is attracted to that position, right? It's not a person who wants to go do their duty for their fellow man and their country anymore. It's a person who wants to get power over their fellow man. It's a person who wants to get wealth through that power and that kind of stuff. Those people gravitate toward those positions. And now the laws that come out of those kind of groups of people are completely different than the laws you would get if you had true public servants in there who gave a shit about their fellow man. And I'm not talking shit about Democrats or Republicans. I'm talking shit about all of them. They're all crooked, thieving, lying politicians. And what do we expect when we keep voting these lawyers in there? You know what I mean? 90% of these politicians are lawyers. They were lawyers before they went into politics. Very few, come out of the private sector, like business, a construction worker or a plumber or a pharmacist or something, become a senator. It's all these lawyers. So yeah, when you get these lawyers to go through there and they become senators and politicians, governors, and all this shit, that that whole courtroom bullshitter, bullshitting the jury and bullshitting the judge. It just that persona, that kind of person just fits right into this fraudulent ass, political scheme we have now. A regular hard-working plumber, he's not going to want to get up there and bullshit everybody and tell them what they want to hear and stroke their fancies and all that stuff to get in there. He's going to just want to get up there and tell the truth and try to help America. And he doesn't get the media attention and stuff, because he's not down with the powers that be. Joe P, what's up, Joe P? Good morning, buddy. Glad to see you here, man. Where's Raziel? I didn't see Raziel show up, but I see somebody saying hi to him. Oh, there he is. All right, Raziel. Yeah, yeah, the daily conference of ne'er-do-wells. Yeah, that's us, Raziel. Yeah, Tripwire's back. Hey, Trip's back from his trip. I was telling everybody about you being gone, Trip. Trip went on a trip. Good to see you back, Tripwire. Glad to see you, man. Glad you could make it. Talking about the United States government shutdown. That's what I started talking about. Of course, we'll talk about whatever y'all want to talk about, but the damn government shutdown. They're acting like it's the end of the world over here. You know, shutting down our government. Hell, it's just just another day. It's just another Saturday. Nothing's changed down here from my point of view. So they can go ahead and shut it down forever as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Yeah, we missed you, Trip. Glad to have you back, man. Glad to have you back. Yeah. And then on the tiny house front, we actually went to put the countertops together yesterday, and I'll post a short tomorrow showing y'all. But it was before I made that short, before we tried to put the countertop together. So when you check it out, we tried to put those countertops together. We had to buy the countertop in two pieces from Lowe's, and they were different thicknesses. So when they went together, they were like this. You know what I'm saying? A countertop. It just, the bullshit that we're getting out of China now, the quality of stuff is just, I mean, so I got to take those damn countertops back this morning, return them, countertops, and get some butcher block countertops, and then we're going to paint them. We're going to paint them white because the guy's mom wants white countertops, so we're going to paint them white. Which, okay, I mean, that, to me, a beautiful butcher top countertop, that seems like blasphemy to paint over that bitch, but whatever. So I'm going to do it. They're paying me to do it. So, but yeah, it's just, when I look at that kind of stuff, we get that, we get materials nowadays, and we're starting out. A lot of times, starting out a project with garbage materials from China. You know what I mean? And we're doing the best we can to fit this shit together. The boards are warped. You got to sit there and go through lumber at Lowe's. You can't even get a decent board anymore, like a 2x4 or whatever. And a lot of y'all know they've been shrinking the 2x4s down. It used to be a 2-inch by 4-inch board. That's where it gets its name. It's not a 2x4 anymore. It's like 3.5 inches by 1 5/8 inches or something. And they're just running that young wood through, and it's all bowed and twisted and warped and bellied and shit. It's a pain in the ass. But yeah, we're getting all this cheap shit. Oh, we need a fetal alien head AF. Yeah. 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 Oh, yeah. Yeah, Rosio, you're right about that. Their trips are always fun, no matter how you do it. Oh, okay. All right, Trip. Need to get rid of some deadwood, huh? Oh yeah, yeah. I've got that Raziel. Yeah, I've got that Bosch jigsaw. That's what I use is Bosch. I was going with the Cobalt stuff when they first came out, the 24 volt, and I liked it, a lot of it. But over the last couple years, I've been through like 3 drills, you know, And I understand that some companies, you know, make a really good, like Bosch makes just an excellent jigsaw. It's buttery smooth. Those things are awesome. I won't use anything else now but a Bosch jigsaw. Bosch makes a good chip and hammer too. Great quality. And then, you know, some of their other stuff might be off a little bit. Not as good as their chip and hammer and their jigsaw. But Cobalt, their drills, I mean, I've been through several of them, and the top quality, the XTR, supposed to be, you know, a contractor grade shit, and they're just falling apart. And so, and it's a drill. I mean, it's something we use every single day. You know what I mean? It's not like some kind of weird off the beaten path tool that I might use once every couple months or something. No, it's my drill, and these things are just falling apart. So I switched completely over to Bosch now. I just had the jigsaw for a while, but now I'm switching completely over to Bosch. I've got the impact, the drill, and the vibrating tool, the multi-tool, and I'm just going to keep, you know, replacing all my Cobalt shit with Bosch. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, AF. That's just blasphemy to paint over butcher block countertop, but that's what I've been told to do, so I'll be doing that today. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt my heart to paint over that beautiful countertop, but that's what I'm doing. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Amish. Yeah, Raziel. Yep. Yeah, I wish we had some closer to us. But them Amish are too smart to come down here and sweat in Florida for 9 months out of the year. they, they live up in more moderate climates mostly. I'm sure we have Amish somewhere in Florida, but nowhere around here that I'm aware of. Yeah, but they would get business from me if they were around here. Eating a tub of butter. Yeah. Yeah, they do that shit. Now that reminds me of the thing that whole thing. Remember back in the day that butter was bad for you and bacon and any kind of animal fat was just the worst thing in the world for you, right? For years we were told that. And now it's coming out that, or it's been coming out for a while now, a few years now, that animal fat is good for you. And the worst thing in the world for you is that vegetable oil they were feeding us for decades. So that's it. Uh, you know, they've been cooking the French fries in vegetable oil and all that stuff for so long, and now it turns out that shit's horrible for you. So, who knows? I know that my grandpa, he lived into his 90s, and he would eat the fat. You know, that was his favorite part off a steak or a slab of ham or something, was that wobbly piece of fat. I was like, Grandpa, you can't eat that shit, dude. It's nasty. All rubbery piece of fat. I don't mind, you know, I'd rather have, you know, real butter and real food, just me. I'm more of that paleo thing, not necessarily the in thing, the paleo diet bullshit, but just not chemicals and shit, you know what I mean? Not all that processed bullshit. But yeah, my grandpa, he just go over there and my grandma'd fix us, you know, ham and stuff for breakfast, and he'd look at that big piece of fat left over. Are you gonna eat that, boy? I was like, no, Grandpa, I wish you wouldn't. I don't want to watch you eat that shit. He'd fork it off of my plate and eat it. Holy shit, yeah. Grandpa loved that shit. But yeah, he lived to a ripe old age. So I never, because of him, I never really bought into that whole thing that animal fat was, you know, the product of Satan. You know what I mean? Just the worst thing in the world for us. Oh, okay, Milwaukee. Yeah, AF. I like Milwaukee tools. Milwaukee's really good. They're just so expensive. I mean, for nowadays, they're really expensive. So that's the only reason I don't use Milwaukee. If they were if they were in my price range, I would use Milwaukee. Yeah, they're great tools, but yeah, they're expensive. Yeah, a walker in the woods. What's up? Yeah, beef, butter, and bacon and eggs. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right, Raziel. Yeah, maybe, dude. Yeah, email me. I'll say if I can remember to, I'll say the email or it's genxthinks@gmail.com. But yeah, email me. Yeah, I don't understand that. I'm not sure about that trip. Why we're not just going with plywood? I think it would be less expensive, and then paint that. Maybe they want the rounded edge, and they don't want to go through the time to do that. I'm not sure. When you're work for yourself like this, I mean, I have a little input. They'll ask me my opinion once in a while, but I don't have a lot of input on the design of things. So, but that's what I would do, Trip. Yeah, I would make it out of plywood. Yeah. Oh, okay. You knew that in 1999 from biochemistry and metabolism. All right. Fat's where it's at. Yeah, Walker. Yeah. Yeah. And we were told, Metal Gear, we were told that margarine was, the saving grace. It was going to save us all, and we're all going to live longer, and it was so good for us. And then now I'm seeing stuff about how it was literally used to lubricate the tank treads or something back in World War II. And then after the war, they needed something to do with that shit. So they started feeding it to us. Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, Raziel. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good to me, dude. Yeah, beef and bacon. Yeah. Yeah, I just lean toward, I know how I ate, and there was something, I forget why, in some kind of conversation, my wife was saying something about these different diets, and I asked her, what the hell's the paleo diet? And she explained it to me, and I said, well, that's the way I eat. That's what I eat, just normal damn food, not processed if I can help it, and not vegetarian or carnivore or whatever, just natural food that paleo people used to eat, whatever, back in the Paleolithic days or whatever, just meat and nuts and whatever. So yeah, I kind of lean that way, I guess. In the scheme of things, I just my normal run of the mill everyday food, I would be considered on a paleo diet. Yeah, yeah, Trip. Yeah, when they said red meat was bad for you. Yeah. Yeah, that's just insane, dude. We've evolved for millennia to eat red meat, and it's what our bodies need to survive. We're honed, we're perfected to consume red meat, and now all of a sudden these scientists and shit, or these companies are going to tell us that it's bad for us all of a sudden. That just doesn't make any damn sense. It just doesn't. All you have to do is think about it for 5 seconds. There's a company that makes vegetable shortening, vegetable oil, and they profit from selling vegetable oil, and they're telling us that red meat is bad. So, is there a conflict of interest there? You think? You know? So the more of that vegetable shit they sell, the more money they make. The less red meat you eat, the more money they make. So to demonize red meat and beef tallow and all that stuff, that was just a profit grab. I'm sure it's illegal. It's not illegal in the United States for damn sure. They'll let our government will let these companies poison us to the end of days. Hopefully, Robert F. Kennedy is putting a halt to that shit. We'll see. Um, yeah, we actually have a product called "I Can't Believe It's Not Butter." Joe P. He said, "I can't believe we eat margarine." Yeah, they have this shit that's called "I Can't Believe It's Not Butter," and it's just straight up, chemicals and shit. Oh yeah, Metal Gear, DuPont, Tyson, Del Monte, all these companies like that. I don't trust them some bitches as far as I can throw the Antarctic continent. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. Yeah. You can stay mobile and doing that stuff well into your old age. My grandpa was still moving around good. He finally died of a heart attack, but um, yeah, he stayed moving around good. He dipped. He didn't smoke, but I still don't. I don't think. I don't know if that had anything to do with it or not. Yeah, fathead was a compliment, Walker. Yeah. Oh, all right. Oh, okay. Yeah, I believe it, Raziel. Yeah, run out of fresh meat. Yeah, there's something about it that the animal fat keeps our joints lubed up. Yeah, Kellogg. Yeah, yeah, Walker. Yeah, follow the money. That's what it all that shit. Almost everything you can boil it down to profits, stock market prices and all that shit. It's just the money. That's all. They do not give a shit about our health. They don't give a shit about our mental health, our well-being, our financial situation. They do not care. And these companies prove it to me personally on a personal level almost every day of the week, because they don't care if I'm in financial straits and I need to, cancel my subscription for a little while until I get back on my feet. They will still try to debit my account. They make it almost impossible to find the cancel your subscription button on their website. All right. And then when you finally do find it, then they make you jump through all these hoops and try to confuse you and shit when you're trying to cancel. You finally get through that and you cancel it. You get an email saying you canceled it, and they still try to debit your account and then threaten me, that they're going to cancel my account if I don't pay. I was like, yeah, I already canceled my account, you scumbag sons of bitches. You know what I'm saying? They do not care. They want your money, bottom line. They don't care if a $15 debit from your account is gonna make you late with your rent or anything like that. They do not care. They don't care if you're in the hospital tomorrow from eating their shit. They don't care. They want their money. Period. End of story. And anybody who believes in all that altruistic shit from one of these companies, now a person can be altruistic. A person can help his fellow man. But a corporation will not ever, never do it. It's just, and people get tricked and buffaloed and bullshitted into thinking that these companies actually care about them. And it's just not true. Not true. These politicians don't care about them. These politicians are the same exact way. Follow the money. Who's paying them? Who did they collect money from? You know, what lobbyists did they collect money from last? That's who they're voting for. You know, that's who in the direction they're voting, not for their constituents. They don't give a shit. They'll vote the opposite way that they told their constituents they would, and then blame it on the other party. You know what I mean? Oh, you know, them Democrats, they stopped us from passing that bill that I promised you we would get through, but, you know, next term I'm going to get it through. I promise you, you know, this time we're going to get it done. Those dirty Democrats, they just stop us, you know, and all that shit. It's bullshit. They're getting paid to sell us out, and they're doing a good job. That's their job, is to sell us out, not to get up there and do what they actually say they're going to do. And I believe that's politicians around the world. That's in every country across Western civilization. The jiggling parts from the biscuit, yeah, or from the brisket, yeah. Yeah, that was my grandpa too. Oh, okay. Yeah, Black Angus, that's good shit. Yeah, I am already a skinny old man. Yeah, yeah, Trip. That's all that shit tastes like crap. I don't like any of it. We eat real stuff at my house, real butter, real meat, real everything. Yeah, well, everything we possibly can, you know, in this day and age. But when I go shopping, I read the list of ingredients on the back of that shit, and I'm still like in the back of my mind, I'm so skeptical. I don't even know if that list is, you know, the ingredients list is true. I wonder if they're lying to me when they print that shit on there, because they could very easily do it and not get in any trouble for it whatsoever. Because our FDA, Food and Drug Administration, they don't check any of that shit ever, ever. They never check it. So those food companies can put whatever they want on that label, and nobody would know. Nobody would know. Yeah, yeah, Walker. Yep. How to drain your bank account from the, yeah, is their MO. That's all they care about. Yep. Yeah, yeah, MREs. Yeah. Well, they just that MRE. Those three letters bring back a lot of memories for me. Yeah. And just that's one thing. I mean, you can say whatever you want about that. That can be debated, right? Because they put out so much bullshit, so many lies about whether it's what's healthy and what's not healthy and all this. So that can be debated. Is the plant shit? Because you have a bunch of vegetarians who say that plants are healthier for you, right? We shouldn't eat meat at all, and so that can be debated. But the shit tasting good, that can't be debated. You know, butter tastes a lot better than that margarine shit. Period. End of story. That margarine crap does not taste as good as butter. All that plant, uh, you know, whatever, plant-based meat and all that weird shit they have, it all tastes like shit. Not that I've tried a whole lot of it. Don't get me wrong. But my wife will offer me something once in a while. I'm like, nah, I don't even want to. And not that she's not big into that shit, but she'll get it once in a while just to try it, you know, to taste it. And no, I don't even. No, I don't even taste that shit. So I don't know what a whole lot of it tastes like. I just, hear from other people that it tastes like shit. I don't even try it. But yeah, I don't think there's any argument there that real food tastes better. Oliver Rust, what's up, dude? Glad you could make it. Yeah, I go down here. We have Publix. That's where I go, and I get the real shit. I'd honestly like to make my own if I could, or buy it from the Amish. That would be the real place to buy it. If you didn't want to, if you didn't want to churn your own butter, I'd have to put a cow on a treadmill or something to churn my butter. But yeah, all that they've been lying to us about the food for decades, lying to us, right? And I don't understand how people still have trust in them. How can anybody still trust these institutions and these corporations and these governments and still give them their money? That's really what blows my mind. Glad to see you here, Oliver. Glad you could make it, man. Yeah. Oh yeah, Razio, butter. Yeah, you're the dairy capital of the world, huh? A doctorate in cheese making. Yeah, all their cheese heads up there. Yeah. But yeah, I've always, like I said about the paleo thing, I've always just shied away from the chemicals, and not from a strictly like super sensitive, ooh kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Just because common sense tells me that I have evolved throughout the generations of mankind. I have evolved to eat regular stuff that is on the planet, not some man-made twisted molecules, that they make to taste like something else, just because it interacts with my taste buds and sends that same signal to my brain does not mean that it's healthy for my liver, you know what I mean, or my pancreas or whatever. So yeah, I try to stay away from all that chemical shit. I mean, I like soda, like most people, so I'll drink a soda, probably one a day on average, some one and a half, because I might have two once in a while. But I'll drink a soda or two a day. But I drink the Pepsi with the real sugar in it, right? Because I don't like that high fructose corn syrup shit. That's just me. If I had the time and stuff, I would probably uh, mess around with that soda fizz thing. What's that thing you make your own soda with? Whatever it is, you buy the little canisters and shit. And I would use coconut sugar and make my own. Make it sweet myself with coconut sugar. Um, but and that's really the only place I eat a lot of sugar is in a soda. The one soda that I have, that's the only place I eat a lot of sugar. I just don't like a lot of sweet stuff, and I think that's part of the reason why I'm half-ass healthy, because I don't eat a lot of sugar. And it's just to do with taste buds. I don't like a lot of sugar, so but I like sugar once in a while. But all that shit, they put sugar in everything now. Literally everything. Crackers, beef jerky, Campbell's soup. Everything has sugar in it. Now, what the hell is sugar doing in beef jerky and Campbell's soup. Chunky Campbell's soup. What the hell? That shit doesn't even make sense. So, I avoid that shit like the plague just because I don't want to eat those chemicals. My common sense rebels against that shit. That's not just my logical common sense brain tells me that that's not food. It's not food. Period. It's not food. Might as well eat a piece of drywall or a nail or something. You know what I'm saying? That my common sense brain tells me don't eat drywall. It's not food. That's the same logic with with those chemicals and shit that they're putting in this crap. My brain tells me, my common sense brain tells me that's not food. Don't eat it. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's not this sensitive diet shit. No, it's just common sense. It's not food. I don't want to eat it. So that's where I'm at with that shit. If it's not damn food that came out of the ground or, out of the ass end of a cow, then I don't want to eat that shit, period. I mean, it's. Yeah, never churned butter. Most of us haven't. Trip. I've seen the pictures and the videos of those people churning butter back in the day. That looks like a lot of work. Oh, okay. All right. Well, if vendors start going that way, and that's the thing, we can change that because they are so focused on the bottom line. We can make them quit putting that shit in our food. They put that shit in our food to make money. Period. End of story. All right. If that shit starts losing them money, if that shit would sit on store shelves until it rotted away, they would quit making it and they would make real healthy food. But we buy the cheap, good, quick shit that tastes salty and sweet and all that stuff. That's the shit we buy, so that's the shit they make. Now, it's not completely all their fault. It's society and our choices and how we vote with our dollar. Maybe not us, me and you, but society as a whole. You know what I mean? If they can make 10 million bullshit chemical products that sell quick and make them a ton of money, and then the other organic, wholesome shit is, not making them money, well, they're going to make the 10 million bullshit products. And it's plain and simple. They don't give a shit whether you're healthy or not. They're not trying to make you unhealthy. I don't think so. They're just trying to make money. And it's bottom line. They don't care if you're healthy or crippled and dying. They don't give a shit as long as they get your money. Live to be 120 and that's great for them. They'll make more money off of your ass. So they don't care. They just want to make the most money. Yeah, AF. Yeah, frozen beef patties. AF says it right here. I bought a pack of frozen beef patties or chicken patties, and it had sugar listed in the ingredients. Yeah, sugar in frozen beef patties. Come on now. I don't eat that shit. And that's why I read the ingredients when I go buy food. I read the ingredients on the label. I still don't, like I said, I'm a little too skeptical. I still don't buy that shit all the way, but at least I try. Maybe I just make myself feel better by reading the ingredients because I don't 100% believe they're telling the truth on there, but I wish I had the time to grow my own food and harvest my own food. Then I know what's going into my body, but I just don't have that time right now. Corn flakes, peanut butter, butterscotch, a layer of chocolate on top. Yeah, the thing that sounds great, Raziel, but my mind goes to what's in the cornflakes, what's in the peanut butter, what's in the butterscotch, what's in the chocolate. That shit. Yeah. Yeah, Trip. Yeah. Sugar is one of the most addictive things that you can come in contact with. Calcium, Tim Beck, what's up, dude? Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, that's good, Raziel. Yeah. But I mean, just now recently have they started coming out with generic, lower priced alternatives that are actually half-ass clean and healthy. So, well, shrooms for health. I've always used them for fun, Tim, but I've heard that they can be healthy too. Yeah, yeah, they should. They should have an aisle called Basic Wholesome Shit. Yeah. Vintage, what's up, Vintage? Trip's back from his trip. Yeah. Y'all tired of hearing me say that? Yeah. You guys are gonna be telling Trip afterward, you can't leave again, dude. He's been saying that every episode. Trip's trip. uh, Bulking burger meat with bamboo fibers. Yeah, that does not surprise me, Joe B. Yeah, I've heard of them putting sawdust in there and shit. Yeah, that would not surprise me one bit. Oh, all right, Razio. Yeah, I bet they're good. I bet they're good, but it just, I'm just saying when I see stuff like that, that's what pops into my head. I'd eat some of them. I just wouldn't eat that kind of stuff every day for decades. But yeah, if I saw some of them shit, I wouldn't turn one down. I don't care what the hell's in them. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I use. Excuse me. That's what I use when I make my bread. I make my own whole wheat bread. I don't buy bread from the store and stuff, but I use honey or coconut sugar. But yeah, normally honey, Trip. That's what I put in my bread, uh, and it does really well. Makes a good loaf of bread. Tastes better. I think it's better for you. I've always heard good stuff about honey and your immune system because of the pollen or something gets in there and your immune system reacts to it and gets stronger just from eating honey. So yeah, Raziel, they're healthy fun. Yeah. Yeah, I've always heard that, Oliver, that Amish, not only is that shit healthy, but it's really good. So, yeah, I really wish that they had one, an Amish community down here. Maybe I might move one day out of Florida and maybe I'll pick a place that has an Amish community within driving distance so I can go there and buy stuff. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Lake says the Norwegian government stepped in and put a sugar tax on stuff. Oh, America loves that too. Yeah, we have taxes on cigarettes and anything like that. That's how they get us to stop that. They're trying to help us by taxing the shit out of us. They're trying to keep us healthy by, charging us more money for shit. Yeah, that's always a wonderful thing when you see the government stepping in and doing their best to keep people healthy. Yeah, Tim. Yeah, and what they did, what the Amish did to help the North Carolinians after Hurricane Helene. I just, I almost wish I had been born Amish. Those people are awesome. I know they're probably good Amish people and bad Amish people just like everybody else, but I've never heard anything bad about the Amish. Every time I hear about them, they're doing just something awesome for people, helping their community and doing good things, and they always have a supply of good, wholesome, healthy food to buy from it. That whole thing is awesome. I wish my ideal community would be Amish as far as like food and even construction and their manufacturing, the quality of their furniture and their homes and stuff like that they build themselves, but with some technology, with some YouTube and some, the stuff we like, video games, whatever you're into, but Amish in all the other ways, just with a little technology in there. Basically the 80s, healthy food, real American well-made products, or Australian or wherever you're from, products made at home with real materials that are well made with a little technology. So basically the 80s. Yeah, okay, that's what I heard, Razio. It's great for seasonal allergies. Okay, yeah, activate natural honey. I didn't know that. Tim. Yeah, but I've always heard that honey was good for you in so many different ways, and I just love it. I love the taste of it. I always have. I mean, I got stung by bees as a kid going to get the honeycomb I found. I got the honeycomb, but I got stung a lot too. Yeah, I remember putting it in a pan and melting it, and the wax floating to the top. But yeah. Yeah, I'd like to do, man, there's so many things I'd like to do like that tripwire. I love fruit trees. I love gardening. I would love to have a couple of beehives, you know what I mean? I don't know how many you would need to have honey year round, but I keep hearing that honey is the only natural food in the world that never goes bad. It'll last for 1,000 years. They've dug up honey out of Egyptian tombs and shit, and it's still edible. Hey, tastes great. Yeah, that honey is like a miracle food. It's amazing. My strawberry jam, Oliver. Yeah, I bet. Holy shit, I bet that's good. Oh, okay. A walker in the woods, local bee pollen. All right. Yeah, that would. I guess that would work. Yeah, it makes sense. Just to go get the pollen directly. Yeah. Yeah, that whole I don't know how it would work. I don't know if it could, because we've gone too far. But the whole, the trade economy, trading one item for another, or trading your work directly for an item. This item is worth, however many hours of labor. So you go work and trade your neighbor like that. Trade milk for the barter system. That's how it used to be for I don't know how many thousands of years, until they created money and and the banking system and all that, and then debt, and just basically enslaved humanity with this debt system that they have, and this fiat fake ass currency that they have. And they just bounce the value of that currency around, right? They just say what they want. What's it worth today? Oh, it's worth this much, and it's all random and shit. But when your neighbor needs a gallon of milk, it's worth whatever it's worth to your neighbor, right? There's no weird shit. It's just there's no third party telling you what your gallon of milk is worth. That you barter it and you say, hey, nah, I like my gallon of milk. I'm gonna drink this bitch. And your neighbor says, well, I'll give you 12 chickens for it. Oh, okay. That something about that is appealing to me, that barter system, getting completely off of that fiat currency and their control over us. I'm not saying I want to do it, because I like YouTube. I like, my tablet and all that shit. I like some modern conveniences, but I would be tempted to walk away from it if I had the opportunity, and if somebody somehow collapsed all that shit, I would not be distraught, put it like that, if the economy did some crazy shit and we all ended up on the barter system. It would be tough. Don't get me wrong. I realize that. I'm not an idiot. Well, not in that sense anyway. But yeah, I would not be jumping off a building if the economy collapsed and we had to go back to the barter system. I'd at least like to see what it was like to live in that way, instead of constantly worrying about debt and this and that and all that bullshit. What chemicals are in my food, and it's just constant stress with that shit. Oh, the bees never stung AF. Yeah, they normally don't unless you actually go messing with them. I've only been stung by bees a couple of times. One was when I was a little kid and I stepped on one that was sitting on a flower and a dandelion or something, and I stepped on it. It stung me in the bottom of the foot. And the other time, was that time I actually attacked them. I was trying to get that honey. So they were just defending themselves against, a buck-ass wild kid that wanted their honey. So I don't blame them for that. But all the other times I've come in contact with bees, they just leave me the hell alone. I mean, even, you can swish a bee off the windowsill or whatever. He's not going to attack you and sting you. Now, a wasp is different. I just got stung by a wasp the other day. We were cleaning up and I moved a door that was in the way, and there happened to be one of those little paper wasp nests there, and I didn't see it, and I moved the door and aggravated them, and they all come at me, and one of them got me on the arm. But yeah, wasps, I've been stung by wasps quite a few times, but only like twice in my whole life. Well, two instances, but the time I got the honey, I probably got stung a dozen or so times in that one event. An 18-pack of eggs instead, Raziel, yeah. Yeah, Trip. How much is it worth to you? Yeah, supply and demand. That's what it's supposed to be about. That's how they set up this whole system in the beginning, was supply and demand, right? But it's been twisted. It's been corrupted, and we're not supposed to have all these monopolies and shit and these global conglomerates, and we're not supposed to have any of that. That's not capitalism. And I see so many people crying about how horrible capitalism is, and they don't know anything about capitalism. They don't know. They've never lived in capitalism, never seen capitalism. They've only read about capitalism, and they've been told that this is capitalist But it's not. It's not even close. This isn't capitalism. But but they're told that they're supposed to hate capitalism, so they hate capitalism. But that goes back to the research. Have you looked into what you're talking about, or are you just going off of what other people have told you? And that's a thing that I think a lot of people, society in general, have a problem with now. Is we think we know something because someone else told us, all right? And this is it might seem like an odd example, but it's still true nonetheless. I think I know that the sun is 93 million miles away from the earth because someone else told me. I read it in a book, someone wrote it down in a book or did an article online or whatever, and I read that, right? Someone else told me that. Now, have I walked it off? Have I walked off that 93 million miles and with a pedometer and seen it myself? No, I have not. So do I really know it? Or am I just repeating something somebody else told me? All right. Now, so that's kind of a gray area there. Do we know? Do I really know that the sun is 93 million miles away from the earth? That's the average as it goes around. Do I really know that? All right. Now, you take that that's a really simple example, but it points directly to the problem. Now, you take that and then you take it on another arena, and this is capitalism. Capitalism is bad, and this is why capitalism is bad. And so they know that capitalism is bad, but they're missing a big point that this isn't capitalism. All this stuff they're striking off, that's not capitalism. So I don't know if capitalism is bad because I've never lived in a capitalist society. I've never seen it in action. All I know is that this is not capitalism and this is bad. You know what I'm saying? So, and that could go across the board with a lot of things that people think they know, including me. I'm not pointing a finger at everybody else, including me, that I think I know something because someone else told me it, right? Someone else told me, well, that's just the way it is, the sun is 93 million miles away, and I will argue you down to the bone that the sun is 93 million miles away. But do I really know? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I read that in a book, So I think that's a hang up, and I don't know what to do about that, but it definitely is, especially with all this misinformation online now. You read an article on the internet, and you think you're informed, and you've learned something, and you've learned some facts, and you're smarter now because you've read this article online. Well, what you don't realize is that article is complete bullshit. It's partial bullshit. It's misleading. It's missing a lot of information. It's taken out of context, a lot of different shit. And so we're all confused on a lot of different things. The zombies were eating metal cars in a zombie movie out of Japan, huh, AF? Oh, okay. I've never seen or even heard of that shit before. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Trip. After the apocalypse, we'll do better. We'll have the barter system. We'll make better furniture. We'll build better houses. Shit that'll last, Now, literally, they build houses that just last long enough to resell. You know what I mean? So the person can buy the new house, live in it for a few years, put a coat of paint on it, and resell it. And then after they resell it, then it can turn to shit. That's somebody else's problem. They just don't want to have to warranty it for that person that buys it initially. It's not. Houses aren't built for generations anymore. It's all bullshit. Yeah. Yeah, we're still hoping, Trip. Yeah, Lake said it there. What time is it? Oh, shit. I'm a few minutes late. All right. All right. I got to get going. Got to get ready for work. So, oh, yeah, don't forget tomorrow, or later on today for some of y'all, I think. But tomorrow, Sunday afternoon, is our big live stream, 2-hour episode. So that's something to look forward to. I have great time with these live streams. I can't tell y'all how much I appreciate you showing up. Tim Beck, Raziel, Metal Gear, Trip, A Walker in the Woods, Just Another Guy in the Woods, my buddy Lake, April, AF, Joe P. Who else we got here? Oliver Rust. Can't forget Oliver. Vintage. All right. I might have got close to everybody there. All right. Well, if I missed your name, I apologize. Jeff7. So, if I missed your name, I apologize. But I got to sign off and get ready for work, pack my lunch, put my work clothes on, do all that good stuff. And I just wanted to thank all of y'all for showing up. And anybody who watches on TV and doesn't get in the comments and stuff, thank you for watching. I appreciate you as well. I know you're out there. And I'll leave you there with that. Oh, yeah, wait. If you have any ideas for future episodes of Gen X Thinks, or if you want to, drop me a line for any other reason, the email, let me see. I've got a thing here somewhere. The email. Oh, is that it? No, that's not it. Oh, there it comes. Oh, yeah, I'm having problems with that. I forgot. Wait for it. Wait for it. There it is. It's coming. There we go. GenXThinks@gmail.com. I don't know what's going on with my software here. This shit's gone kablooey on me. So, yeah, if you have any ideas for future episodes of Gen X Thinks, or you want to drop me a line for any other reason, feel free to do so. GenXThinks@gmail.com. And I'll leave you there with that. As always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one. Now, there we go. Let it fade. Bye, everybody. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it.